Hello and welcome to Mr. Peacock Square Plays of week number 7, football against the number, coming to you from Midtown like always. Folks, let's talk about last week. Go ahead and get that out of the way. 2-2. Not my best effort. I will say this though. I heard a couple of other handicappers last week say that they didn't really like the board a whole lot, and I kind of felt the same way. I wasn't really in love with anything that I did last week. And that's probably why we went 2-2. And so in a way, I kind of feel fortunate for that. I love the games this week, though. Honestly, I could take about 7 or 8 of them this week. It was hard to neck them down to 4. So I'm kind of hoping that that's what explains last week a little bit. We had Northwestern plus 7.5 at Michigan. Did not go so well. Minnesota -3 at Purdue was an easy cover. Arizona minus 10.5 against Oregon State at home, easy cover. And Florida, Missouri, I really kind of thought Mizzou would get a little bit more offensively going. That did not come close to going over 38 points. So 2-2 on the week. We're still in the black overall and feeling real good about it, folks. It's starting to get cool outside, and Mr. Peacock is still making you money. You got to feel good about that. Folks, we're going to get started off. We're leaving our plush Midtown Atlanta studios, and we're getting on the airplane. And we're going out to Lawrence. Lawrence of Kansas, okay? Lawrence, Kansas. For a high noon Eastern, 11 a.m. local time start, folks. I like the Texas Tech Red Raiders laying a robust 31.5 points on the road against the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas is, I don't think that there's any question that they're the worst Power 5 team out there right now. And I don't even think that's close. Whoever's second worst is, probably beat them by 2 touchdowns, honestly. I don't think that Kansas could win the Southern Conference. I'm not 100% sure that Kansas could win the state championship in 6A here in Georgia. That'd be competitive anyway. They just get thumped, and then they've got a lot of injuries on top of it, too. Texas Tech is really kind of rolling right now. They're playing some really good offense. I look for the Red Raiders to keep the good vibes going. It's a lot of points to lay on the road, obviously, but, Baylor didn't have any trouble with it in the road game spot last week. Texas Tech ain't going to have any trouble with it this week either. This should probably be a 40 to 50 point win, I would say, for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. So take T by T laying 31.5 points. Game number 2, we're going to Iowa City, I think, is where the Iowa Hawkeyes live. Folks, we're getting right back on Northwestern. I like the Northwestern Wildcats plus 2 points at Iowa. This is also a noon start. In terms of the simple rating system for defense, the Sports Reference puts out there, basically just adjust your defensive prowess against your strength of schedule, strength of competition. Northwestern is actually number 2 right now in the country defensively. They are an outstanding defensive football team. It didn't show up last week. They did give up a non-offensive touchdown, but Northwestern never got their O going last week either. I don't look for Northwestern to play poorly 2 weeks in a row. Iowa's got a lot of guys out right now. Iowa's record is quite deceptive as well. I think that this is going to be a straight-up 10-point win for Northwestern. I really do. They got the wrong team favored here. I would like Northwestern in this game if Iowa was fully healthy. Iowa is not fully healthy, and so I love the Northwestern Wildcats catching 2 points. Game number 3. We are going to Waco, Texas, folks. I spent a month there one weekend. We like the Baylor Bears and the West Virginia Mountaineers playing a football game over 75 points. Yeah, I feel like I usually take a total and I usually take it over, but that's fine. Have you seen the history of these two teams? I guess last year it did not go over 75, but good grief, they've gone over 90 a couple times when they played. I've gone over 100 a couple times when they played over the last 3 years. And, Baylor's really rolling right now offensively. They don't really show any interest at all in playing defense. West Virginia is a good offensive team and not a terrible defensive team, but this thing's going to be a track meet. The early start kind of bothers me a little bit, but not that much. I think both of these teams are going to get into the 40s, if not the 50s, and push this thing away. I think this game will go over the total in the third quarter. I really do. The other one that I was really looking at was a Bowling Green over, the gift that kept giving until it didn't. But this is an over I like just a little bit better. Game number 4, folks. We are going to College Station, Texas. I've been there before. Where? At 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. local, on the Big I. I like the Texas A&M Aggies catching 4 points at home against Alabama. Folks, this is one I've been on for a long, long time now. Okay, and I'll tell you this. Texas A&M coming off of a bye week is the improvements that they've made defensively, what they're doing offensively. Alabama coming off of a physical game against Arkansas, a physical game for about 20 minutes against Georgia as well the week before that. I think that this just sets up perfectly for Texas A&M. Alabama embarrassed A&M last year. I think that that's fresh on the Aggies' mind as well, and I think that Texas A&M is going to win this game straight up. This is one that, like I say, this is one that I've been on since the summertime when I've been calling for Texas A&M to win the SEC West. They're going to take a big step in that direction on Saturday afternoon. So take the Texas A&M Aggies catching 4 points, and go get you a steak at Soda Lax after that. One of the best steakhouses that I've hit for during my college baseball tour anyway, I'll say that. Turning now to our mailbag. Today's letter comes to us from Jim from Sag Harbor, New York. And Jim writes, reading departures at some big airport, are you reminded of the places you've been? Well, yes, Jim, I am. And there's so much to see waiting in front of me that I just can't go wrong. Real quickly, to recap, week number 7, blew right through this, folks. Mr. Peacock is concise this week because he's got other stuff to do today. I like the Texas Tech Red Raiders going on the road laying 31.5 points at Lawrence of Kansas. Game number 2, I like the Northwestern Wildcats catching 2 points at Iowa. Game number 3, I like Baylor and West Virginia playing a football game, a track meet, a 7-on-7, over 75 points. Game number 4, I like the Texas A&M Aggies catching 4 points at home against Alabama. So I wish you the best of luck. We'll be right back here next week. I guess it's like week number 8. We're really rolling into this thing, and I can't wait to see you then.